Hi BookTube, welcome back to Winks and Ink. I'm Winks, and the ink I'm talking about today is my December TBR list. I'm posting this a little bit late since the first week of December is already almost over, and I've already read one of the books on my list, but I thought it would be fun to go ahead and post it anyway. So the first book on my list, which I actually mentioned in my previous video, is a self-help book called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. And Brene Brown is most known for her TED Talks on vulnerability and shame, and the book kind of goes along with that and just talks about embracing who you are and acknowledging that we're all vulnerable to making mistakes and feeling shame, and that it's just part of the human experience. I thought it was a pretty good read. I thought that there were some really good points in it and good ways of thinking. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, so I would definitely recommend it. And I'm curious to read some more of her other books. I've heard really good things about them as well. The second book on my list is kind of a fluffy read. It's Wish You Were Here by Rita Brown. And it's the first book in the Mrs. Murphy mystery series, which is about Mrs. Murphy the cat solving mysteries. The plot of this first book, from what I gather, is that Harry, Mrs. Murphy's owner, is the postmistress in a small town, and people in the town start being murdered. And Harry notices that before each murder, that person received a postcard that had a tombstone on it and said, "Wish you were here." So, of course, Harry and Mrs. Murphy take it upon themselves to investigate this murder mystery. I've heard good things about it, and I'm definitely a sucker when it comes to cat mystery series, so I'm definitely excited to give that a read. Also, fun fact, I actually got this book at a wedding this October in New Mexico. One of my really good friends got married, and instead of doing traditional wedding gifts, she had a big table set up that was just full of used books, and everyone could go and look through and pick out whichever book caught your interest. And each one came with this cute little commemorative bookmark. It was really cute. So thank you, Connie. The third book on my list was actually recommended to me by one of my coworkers because they're good book recommendations, and it's actually been making the rounds on BookTube videos, so there's a good chance you've already heard of it. It's called The Three-Body Problem. It's actually a Chinese series which is being translated into English. The first and second books are already out in English, and the third book, I believe, is scheduled to come out next summer. I'm not for sure about that, but I think it's won several awards. It's a best-selling series in China, and it just sounds really interesting. The basic plot is that it's set during the Chinese Cultural Revolution, and a military group is sending signals to try and make contact with alien life, and the alien life that happens to pick up on those signals is actually in some sort of trouble. Either they lost their home or the race is dying or something like that, and so they decide that they will just invade Earth. And of course there are groups who are anticipating a exciting first contact and others who are anticipating a hostile alien race. So it just sounds like it's a really interesting story, and I'm very excited to read that one. The fourth book on my list is actually a novella. It takes place after the Chalian series by Lois, McMaster, Bujold. It's called Henriks Demon. I really enjoy the Chalian series. I read it probably a couple years ago. I honestly don't even know what this novella is about. I just know that it takes place after the series. I pretty much just bought it on impulse and thought that I would dive in and see what I thought. Then the last book on my list I don't actually have yet. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to buy it. I might see if it's at the library. But it's The Shadow of the Torturer, which is the first book in the Book of the New Sun series by Wolfe. This is another one that was recommended to me by my coworker, and the book follows an apprentice assassin who actually is banished from his guild because he committed what is considered the ultimate crime of caring for one of their prisoners. And it takes place on Earth, but so far into the future that modern day Earth has become completely lost to memory. It sounds like it's just going to be a really epic series, and I am very excited to get started on it. I'm not totally sure if I'll be able to get it read in December, but hopefully I'll at least be able to start in on it. It sounds really neat. So that wraps up my December TBR. Please comment if you've read any of these books, or if you have any general feedback or suggestions for my channel. I'd like to give a shout out to Michael from Bitten by a Radioactive Book. I'll put a link to his channel below. He tagged me to do a SFF book video, which is my first tag video that I have actually been tagged to do. So that is exciting. Thank you, Michael. And I would also just like to say thank you to everyone who left comments in my last video. I got so many really nice, encouraging, and welcoming comments, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm hoping to get the SFF video done soon, but I'm also wanting to get started on my first book tattoo video, so hopefully I will get those out here in the next week or two. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Bye!